This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, well, welcome to our webinar, everybody. This is just an introduction webinar to help you prepare to come to Thailand. Just checking if everybody can hear me okay still.
Yep.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Great. Perfect, great. So I'm going to go through everything from start to finish. So it's going to be a bit of an overload of information. We will send you out a lot of documents to back this up, but we just want to tell you exactly what you're in for, talk you through what you need to get you started so we can start organizing your paperwork to give to your school. Also paperwork for immigration to get you here and everything about your visas. Talk you through the process of what happens when you come over here and everything in between your life now and what it will look like when you are at your school in Thailand. But just to introduce us a little bit, so we have been working with your agent. So you will all be coming from different agents. Maybe some of you booked directly through Explorasia. You might have booked through Greenheart, TravelBud, Global Work and Travel Co, G-World, all sorts of agents that we partner with. And we've been helping people come over to Thailand for 10 years this July to teach. We also operate in Vietnam, Myanmar, Japan, South Korea, and Costa Rica. And this is a little picture of our Thailand team here on the ground. So myself and Gib are here in Thailand, and Gib is also in the call. So this is our programs team. We are your direct point of contact. So if you ever have any questions after this meeting or anything between now and when you head off to your school, even after, please contact us and we'll be able to help you out with everything. So it's actually myself, Gib, and Cassidy, who's on the laptop in the photo. She's our operations supervisor, but she doesn't live in Thailand. She'll be overseeing everything as well. So if you've been in contact with Cassidy, she's always here to help you as well. I'm just going to check if we've got anybody in the waiting room before we start on the documents. Great. Okay. So today we are going to cover all the documents to get you started. So this is what we can start preparing right now. Everything you can gather right now to get you started. Then we're going to go over the process from now to finishing at your school and where to find all the information that we will support you with each individual document. So we'll go over this a little bit in the next section, but over to you. Yep.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. For this part, we will talk about the documents that the first thing we will need from you to pass it to the school is your teacher profile document. We will need to have your professional photo, also your resume in Explorasia template. We will send you the templates as well. And also the introduction video for 30 seconds. Please shoot the video in the horizontal angle and then you introduce yourself. You say your name, your age, your degree, your teaching experience, also with the smiley and excited to come here, and upload it on the video in the YouTube and share the link on YouTube to us. Okay, and next is for your documents that we require all in the physical copy when you arrive here, but at this stage, please scan it and send to us. We need your passport, which please scan the passport on, it's like a book, is the page of passport, also the connect page on that, and send to us. Also, is make sure that you have at least 2 empty pages on your passport, and also your passport has at least 1 year left. And also the degree certificate, if you don't accept the physical copy yet, please contact your university to get that. And also the transcript, that we accept only the official transcript. And then your COVID-19 vaccination card, that right now at this stage, you can share the physical card that is like a writing on the card and scan it to us. And later, please have the digital certificate of vaccination card as well. And next is the criminal background check, which it has to, it quite takes time for criminal background check, and it must be not older than 6 months. So you can process this immediately. And for the people from the US, you can, because this is must accept only the state level check. So the third party company, we don't accept that. And from the people for the US, like you guys, you can have the state level check or the FBI check. And for the people from the UK, we accept the ICPC, which is International Child Protection Certificate, and it can apply online through ACRO website. And also the last thing is the legalized degree, which is your degree, and you make the copy of your degree to do legalization. Don't legalize on your original copy of your degree. The legalization degree, it's also the lengthy process, so please proceed it immediately as well. And it's make sure that you have the red bird stamp like on the slide. It's from the Royal Thai Embassy from your country. It shows that this is the complete document. But the legalized degree doesn't require to enter Thailand, but you will need it when you do the work permit. Okay, anyone has the question about this or not?
We'll do a bit of a question and answer at the end as well.
Okay, so we proceed next. Once you receive our green light email, that you can proceed the following document later on, which is the insurance that it must be cover 50,000 US dollar and specify COVID-19 treatment, also cover the entire length of stay in Thailand. And then you can book the flight and share us the flight details. And then quarantine booking, as right now, Thailand requires 7 days quarantine bookings. So when you book that, please share it to us. However, we will reach out again for the quarantine policy because it's probably changed in the future, like next month, maybe have the new policy that you may, the quarantine area might be expand, and Hua Hin, which is the place that we are having the orientation, may be able to be a quarantine area as well. Okay, and then for visa, as every people will have different visa, so we will reach out to you individually that what kind of visa you will need. Some people maybe not need the visa, but some people maybe have to apply the visa. And then Thailand Pass, which is a must to apply. If you're gonna enter Thailand, you have to apply the Thailand Pass. And Thailand Pass will ask you the details of the insurance, the flight detail, the quarantine booking. And then when you already apply, it's gonna come as a QR code like in the slide, so that you can use it when you enter here. Also, before flying, at least 72 hours, please have the COVID-19 test as a RT-PCR test to make sure that you are fit to fly.
Great. So this is a few things that we are going to send you to support everything we just asked of you. So you will receive the final briefing document. This is the mother of all documents. It has so much information inside. It has steps on the important documents to prepare. It has teacher profile guides. So this is a guide on what to wear and how to take your professional photo. Also, how to take your introduction video, which is only 30 seconds, to tell you a little bit about yourself. We also have some examples of other people's introduction videos to show you exactly what schools would like you to send over in the YouTube format. If you're not tech savvy, it also has instructions on how to change it into a YouTube format to send over to us. We send you in a separate tab as well, the resume template. So if you already have a resume, that's great. You can just copy and paste it into this template that the schools require. It also has instructions on what to do when you land in Thailand. We'll be furthering our information with your arrival details as soon as the government updates their new quarantine rules. So everything is looking great to get you here sooner and make things cheaper for you, and hopefully have quarantine only a couple of days instead of the 7 days. So we'll keep you updated as soon as these changes come through, which should be very soon. Then it has a little bit of information on your visa and insurance. It has a few companies that that each country has chosen in the past. So if you're completely unsure of what companies to go with or anything that might be a scam, it has some secured companies that people have used, depending on what country you're from. So all of our information is categorized into your country. So always make sure that you're reading information specific to your country. And then it's got COVID information, COVID test information, quarantine, transport to Hua Hin information, and information on your accommodation. Also has a budget guide. I highly suggest you guys having a read of this, because it comes into play your budgeting of what you'll be supporting with yourself after your time in Hua Hin with us, like living terms, how much it might cost to rent an apartment or change your visa over when you need to extend it if you're planning on staying here a long time, things to do with your work permit. So please have a look over that, and a document checklist so you don't forget anything when you come out to Thailand too. Then separately, because some processes are a little bit complicated, we are going to send you a legalization guide. This is for specifically your degree legalization. So the reason why Thailand requires you to legalize your degree is because it's a very easy to replicate document kind of place. So they like to know that your degree is definitely yours and it's a real degree. So no matter what country you're from, this is a 3 or 4 step process, which is usually sending it to a notary and then getting it authenticated. You might need to send it to a federal office, and then it ends at the Thai embassy where you get that red bird stamp. So if you just do the notary, it's unfortunately not finished yet. There are also expediting services that we can recommend for each country that you're from. This doesn't make it any faster, and you do have to pay for it, but it takes it out of your hands. If you just don't want to deal with the stress of it all, you can just send it to this company and they do the whole thing for you. But it does take a while, specifically the US and specifically South Africa. It does take a while. So this is what we really want you to get started as soon as possible. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, that's fine. We'll talk to you about different processes with your highest education certificate, but just know that you don't need to do this process if you do not have a bachelor's degree. We'll also send you the visa guide, which will be specific to your visa. So you will be coming over on different visas depending how long of a time commitment you can give us, depending on your level of education, if you have a bachelor's degree or not, and also depending on if a school snatches you up quickly, we might get you on a working visa straight away. But for 10 years, we have been placing everybody when they arrive in Thailand. So you should expect to find out where you're going in Thailand after you arrive. That's why we also sent you out that little placement survey to see what your preferences are, and anything that's important to you. But don't worry, don't be stressed if you don't find out where you're going before you come to Thailand. It's a completely normal process. If you happen to find out beforehand, that's maybe why your visa might be different to somebody else's, but most of you will be coming over on a tourist visa, the 60-day one, but please don't apply yet. We would love to know exactly what we're doing with each of your individual cases, so you don't need to spend any extra money or anything like that first. So we'll send you out the visa guide specific to you. Then a separate budget guide to break everything down. We'll also create a Facebook group for you all to connect. There's a really big group coming out in March, almost 100 people. So it should be a real exciting time to have you all here at once. And then we're going to have some information on our partner Rescue Paws as well. So this is our charity foundation. Piggy will tell you a little bit about that in a moment, and quarantine information when it comes out as well. So the process of getting you here. So please send over all your documents first. So this is your teacher profile documents, your photo, video, and resume. That's what we need first to get you out in the web of schools that are hiring. And then also make sure to apply for your criminal background check and legalize your degree, because they do take the most amount of time. Criminal background checks are different, just like Gibbs said, in each country. So please read the guide depending on your country. The US, you will need a state or federal level check. If you're from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, it does need to be a high level check as well. You usually can't go down to your local police station and just get a local area check. And also please avoid those third party checks. Anything that's online that says, we'll give you a criminal background check, but they have nothing to do with your police or government. Please don't go through those, because the schools won't accept them. And then of course, legalizing your degree, because it takes time. So those are the two first things that you can get onto right now. And then after this, we will give you the green light to apply for your visa, your Thailand pass, and give you arrival details. We're not going to spring it on you with only a couple of days left for you to quit your job at home and get everything together and come over. We will give you plenty of time, but we also want to give you the correct information for you. So please hold out. Don't book anything yet. We just don't want you spending any extra money than you have to. So as soon as we get this new quarantine information, we'll be sending that out shortly as well to help you book everything with plenty of time. Should be more than a month in advance that we give you to book your visa and your flights and everything like that. So don't stress about coming last minute. Do not purchase flights or apply for any visas, insurance, quarantine until we give you the green light. We're just trying to save you money once again. We will send you the visa guide specific to you. When you get it, please apply for your visa straight away. It does take time for them to process visas, and they need your flight to apply for your visa. So essentially you book your flight first and you give your visa about 4 weeks to make it to you, so you have your visa before you fly. If you were to leave applying for your visa to the last minute, then you may have your flight take off before your visa is approved, and therefore you can't jump on that plane and you'll have to push your flights back. So everything is perfectly timed for a reason. If you ever do have questions of why we are sending you things at certain times or anything like that, please let us know anytime. And then we'll send you all the arrival documents, and can you please send us yours? So when you do purchase flights, insurance, everything like that, just so we can check that you're all good to go and you won't get denied on your Thailand pass. And don't forget to bring all of your original documents with you to Thailand, especially your original degree certificate and your transcripts. So I know a lot of you might have this in a frame on the wall, or it's your mum's now and she's very proud of it. But please do bring it with you. They do require to see the original copy. If your mum doesn't want to give up the original copy of your degree, you can always order another one with your university, or just reach out and we can talk through it. But you do have to bring the original copies over here to Thailand. And don't forget to do your COVID test 72 hours before you fly, technically, but we'd like to suggest 48 hours is the sweet spot. Some transit airports that are quite large, like Singapore, require a 48-hour COVID test. So if you got one and you flew through Singapore, they would make you get a second one, which is an extra fee. Also, it's just a sweet spot with timing. If you got it at the 72-hour mark and your flight was delayed, you might have to get another one. If you got it on the last day, maybe you wouldn't get the results back in time. So we always suggest the 48-hour mark for your PCR tests to be able to fly, which is usually mandated by airlines. And then quarantine once you arrive. So we're hoping to have everybody stay around the same area. And then we will meet in Bangkok, have a quick meeting on the 28th of March to go over everything, and then send you down to Hua Hin together and get you started on the course all together. Of course, you will need to quarantine a little bit before the 28th of March, but the 28th of March is when we would like to start your Hua Hin course. So to give you a rough timeline, maybe keep a week or 2 in front of the 28th of March, free as an estimation on when you may leave, but we will give you the actual date sooner in the next coming weeks. Over to you, Gib, orientation week.
Yes, once you arrive here, you will join our activities on the orientation week, which is the Thai language class, Thai culture class, also temple visit, Muay Thai, cooking class or market trip, and you will have the welcome dinner with us. Yes, and also you will visit the rescue port, which is our charity foundation, like Jasmine mentioned before, and you will see the clinic here. There are the dogs and cats that is we help them to sterilization and also the treatment for some dogs. And you will walk on around the dam or at the beach with them as well.
And then for those of you who are doing the TESOL courses, so if you're doing the TESOL extra course, this means that you've done an online course or are doing an online course with Explorasia. And this gives you an extra 40 hours in the classroom. So everybody will do orientation, come here all together in Hua Hin, and you'll do that on the first week. The second week will be TESOL extra. So if you're doing 2 weeks, you'll stay a little longer, and with the in-class TESOL people as well. So you guys have an extra 3 weeks of in-class learning. You'll learn everything that has been taught online for the TESOL extra people in class here in Hua Hin, and get to stay a total of about a month to do all your course. But you will have orientation with everybody as well. So it will be a great bonding session when you do arrive.
And when you are with us, we will pick you up from Bangkok to Hua Hin, and we will share you the pickup location later. It's maybe the airport or the hotels. And also you will stay with us at our accommodation, which is the share room with the other participants. But if you would like to have the private room, you can tell us in advance. Also, everyone will pay for the utilities, and some people might have to pay for the accommodation, as it depends on the package that you work with your agent. Also, you join the orientation activities, and we help you to set up the bank account. Also, we provide you the SIM card that you can select the package up to your preference. And you will meet with the placement team that they will help you about the school details and information. As Jasmine mentioned before, you will know where your placement is once you arrive here. And also, they will help you on some process after they receive your teacher profile document. They might contact you to reach out, like the interview process. And once you arrive here, they will give you more detail about the location, the salary. Also, they advise you the accommodation around your school, and also the person that you can coordinate with after you arrive at your school as well. And when you go to your school, there will be the person who look after you, but you can also keep contact us, include program team or the placement team. We will be contact each other always. So if you need anything or any question, you can reach out. Yeah, this is the picture of our placement team that you will meet them when you arrive here.
Okay, so what to get started now, which is super important. So we've sent you our terms and conditions, so please sign that as well. Start your police check and legalization process of your degree. We'll send you information to support both of these, but if you are having any questions or you're having troubles, please do reach out. I know since I'm mainly talking to people from the States like California and New York can be a little bit tricky with your police check. So if you have problems, please let us know anytime. If you don't have your degree certificate or transcripts, your original copies from your university, please contact your university and see how you can get them. They will be needed for your placement here in Thailand. And then submit your teacher profile documents, your photo, video, and resume. If you're worried that it's not good, just send it to us anyway. We don't send a bad copy out to a school. We'll send it back to you and say, can you please fix this? And you can send it back. And we don't care what you send in. We've seen a million of them. So please get it done as soon as you can so we can send out the good copies to the school. And then fill out our placement survey so we know what your preferences are when you do head out to a location in Thailand also. When you submit all of the documents by the due date, so we'll send you an email with a couple of due dates for certain tasks. Please wait for the green light to apply for your visa, your Thailand pass, book flights, insurance, and quarantine. We'll host another webinar on this as well. We'll have a few more to go over specific details and have more of a question and answer. And please read what we send you. We do send you a lot. Apologies in advance. We do send you a lot of information, but we want to give you absolutely everything at once. And I know some of it isn't relevant right now when you're just starting the process. If you lose a document and you know you've seen it, but you don't know where it is, please reach out. We can send it to you again. But we just want you to have all the information possible to get your exciting journey started to come out to Thailand. So now over to a question and answer. So I just want to see if anybody has any questions about absolutely anything at all.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
So basically all the documents that you said that we need to send to you, I've already uploaded to G World. Do I need to send them to you also?
If it's Global Work and Travel Code, they will send them to us, but it's quicker to just go straight direct communication from now on. Global has given us the green light to reach out to you. So our sole purpose is getting you to Thailand. So if you want to send them straight to us, it might be a little bit faster.
Okay, do you have a point of contact I can email that to?
Yes, so you know the email that you got this webinar on?
Yes.
You can always reply to that one, and myself and Gib will have separate emails as well, but it doesn't matter where you send it, we'll get it and we'll upload it straight away.
Okay, great. And the FBI check for people in the United States is fine, right?
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Just a few things with the criminal background check. There is a place that is like a site for fingerprints, but it goes through, as long as it's involved with the state police database, that works out, right?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it mentions your state and not just a county police, and it's not a third party, you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you. And also with the legalization of the documents, of the degree, excuse me. When we need a copy of it, it could be a regular scanned copy, right? Because I sent it. I sent the original already, like a copy of the original, so that one would work for legalization.
Absolutely. So please don't legalize your original copy. A scan of it is completely fine. And then they do all their magic, the notary, the authentication. They send it to Washington, D.C. for the US, and then they send it to the Thai embassy from your particular state. There is 4 Thai embassies in the US. They'll send it to one of those 4, depending on where you live. Your visa will also go through this process as well. And then it's finished and you get it back.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great, thanks. Any other questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a few questions. Can you explain how the phone thing works? Because I know you said, or on the document, it says something about a SIM card. And I kind of understand, but could you explain that a little bit more?
Absolutely. So when you are here in Hua Hin, we have a SIM card ready to go for you. So it's already registered, and you do have to purchase a SIM card, even if it's got no data package on it in Thailand. So that's included in your package here. And then when you arrive, P. Gib, our master at TrueMove company, will help you set up the SIM card to a package that you prefer. So we encourage you to download an app, which is free, and you
Mhm.
can choose how much internet you would like for a certain time period and how many megabytes per second, the speed.
Right.
We help set it up in that regard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then I know you mentioned the Thai Water Festival is kind of around that time. So where do people normally go between like what have people done in the past and like what kind of do you suggest traveling to around that time?
Great question. So because everybody will be starting their course in March, on April 13 to 16, sometimes starting on the night of April 12th, Songkran is Thailand's New Year festival. So what it's based around is it's a Buddhist New Year festival. It's to clean your Buddha statues, wash off the previous year, all the things that happened to you the previous year, and then start afresh. So they have their water festival to cleanse each other as well, but it's a big countrywide water fight. Where do I suggest to go? Everywhere in the whole country will be celebrating Songkran.
Mhm.
This will be the first time we'll be able to celebrate in 2 years due to COVID, so it's going to be a big one. I just recommend any tourist town will have the biggest celebration. Bangkok shuts down the entire major highway in the city to have a Songkran festival usually.
Mhm.
Chiang Mai is a great place. Krabi is a great place. Even here in Hua Hin, if you wanted to save a little bit of money and stay here, there's a great Songkran festival. So it really depends on you. Do you like the islands? Do you like the mountains, the city? Because everyone will be celebrating Songkran.
And you when we arrive in a group, we can kind of figure it out and like talk to other people like kind of as we go, right? We don't have to have all of that pre-planned exactly. Like
For
do people
sure.
go and then kind of figure out how like to travel with people, make friends and all of that?
In the past, the Facebook group has really encouraged people to connect before they arrive. I know
Mhm.
Facebook is a dying thing in the normal world, but when you're an expat in a country, it's very much alive. It's how everybody connects.
Mhm.
So some people during this time of the year do have a plan in advance for Songkran, but it is easy to create a plan last minute as well if you happen to all be here in Hua Hin and want to go somewhere. But just know that the whole country will be moving around. Traditionally, the Thai people go and spend this time with their family as well. So it might be a little bit expensive to move around last minute, and there might be limits on accommodation, but there's also a lot of restrictions for countries that still can't travel to Thailand. Like China used to be one of their biggest tourist persons who came to Thailand, and they're still not allowed to travel here. So there's plenty of hotels. I wouldn't worry about not having anywhere to go.
Okay, okay. And then one last question. So a lot of people arrive not knowing Thai, but do people learn Thai or do like I was thinking about doing like a quick crash course before I go, or would I be would it would it be completely terrible if I didn't, you know?
Well, it would always be great to do a little bit
Yes.
of extra research.
Right.
But you do some Thai classes with Gip when you are here in Hua Hin. She will teach you the basics, and we give you a Thai language book. When it comes to your teaching, you probably won't be allowed to teach in Thai at all
Mhm.
or ever use a Thai
Okay.
translation. You'll be teaching 100% in English and
Okay.
using example or no speech to be able to teach your class if
Mhm.
dialogue's getting in the way. But it will help your everyday life if you know a little bit of
Okay.
Thai.
Yeah,
The
that's
Thai
what I was thinking.
people, they know English. They know the basics as well, and they're very kind and helpful. So you won't have a terrible time if you don't know it as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions about anything?
I had a question about the monument visa services that you guys suggested.
Yep.
When I went on there to do the legalization of the degree, it said received to address, like when I send it back. Do
Yep.
I send that to an address through you or back to me? How does that work? Like, what do I fill out there?
If you're starting it now, I believe that it will make it back to your house, fingers crossed, in the US before you leave. Worst case, if for some reason it didn't, it would get sent to your place first, and then someone at home would have to send it to your school or to our office. If you guys need to send anything to our office, that is completely fine. You are more than welcome to do that. We'll send you the address. But if you're starting it now, I do believe it should make it to your home in the US before you leave.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so actually, I guess regarding the degree legalization, so I remember you saying that it needs to go to the Thai embassy, but also we're supposed to get it back. So that's one of the things that we're supposed to physically take with us to Thailand, correct? Or
The
or
legal
they sending,
degree?
yeah, or are they
Yes.
sending it to the embassy like themselves, or like, I guess like when we go and get that done, then we
Yep.
like state that it needs to be legalized by the Thailand government, and then that's how it works, and they send it by themselves to the embassy. Sorry.
It's such a tricky process. I'm sorry you guys have to do this, but essentially it goes to a notary first, and you can use the expediting service. They do the whole thing for you, or you have to physically mail the scan in the mail to the notary, and then it comes back to your house, and then you mail it to the authentication office, which is usually in your state. Then they mail it back to your house, and then you mail it to Washington, D.C. Every single degree in the US has to go to Washington, D.C. This one takes the longest amount of time. So if you're worried it's been there for a month, it's completely normal. And then they mail it back to your house, and then you have to mail it to the Thai embassy inside your country that correlates with where you live, which if you're having any troubles, please reach out, but it will be in the document we send you. And then they mail it back to your house. So it's tedious. It's all through the post, the scanned copy. Unless you do the expediting service, it doesn't come back to your house in between the 4 stages. It just goes through them the whole way and finally comes back to your house completed. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I got it now.
Awesome.
Sorry, I had a question in relation to that as well. Like, I'm from Ontario, Canada, so would that process look fairly similar?
Yes, but I believe Canada only has a 3-step process. So you do the notary, the authentication at your head of government, and then you send it to the Thai embassy in Canada. There's 2. There's one on the west and one on the east. So it correlates to where you live, and then it's completed. Canada's usually faster than the US to complete as well. But we'll send you this in the guide.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, last one. So so like if there's a Thai embassy in your city, do you have to mail it to them, or can you like physically bring it once it gets back from DC if you're American?
Before COVID, you could physically go there. A lot of places like that do have by appointment. So just double check their website. They may require an appointment, or now because of COVID, they may only require you to mail it there. But double check the website of the Thai embassy that correlates with your state. It will be on the map in the legalization guide if you're worried what state correlates with what embassy, and you can have a look and see what they require you, if you can go there or not.
Okay, great, thanks.
Any questions at all?
So you'll be connecting us with a Facebook group
Yes.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from here, we wait for the green light to book our flight and apply for a visa and our Thai pass.
Yes. So
Okay.
most people now will do all their documents and their criminal background check and legalized degree, but I've been talking with you for a few months.
Yes,
So
thank you.
done it all already. So you will be waiting for the green light at this stage. But as soon as
Okay.
we know anything, we'll send you the information straight away, because I know you're ahead of the first stage.
Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Welcome. Any other questions before I let you go? Please know you can always reach out on email. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope we gave you all the information you need to get started. If you do think of any kind of questions, I'm the kind of person who hangs up a call and has a question straight away. So please let us know, and we'll be in touch throughout the whole process. But thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So much.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.